Good morning, guys. Good morning and welcome to our morning training session. Today we're going to talk about shift static 1 mindset. All right, shift mindset. All right, so we're getting into a preparation for your mindset coming into a shift market. Mind you, we are already in a shift market, and your mindset should be prepared well ahead of this current market. Now, in a shift market, what does it mean in a shift market? It means that most inventories, most listings that are in the market takes more than 6 months to sell. And in the shift market, you will find that there are pressures on pricing. And in the shift market, you will find that there are more sellers than buyers. And so that's why they call it a buyer's market. And we are moving down into a shift market where the pressure on the sales and the pricing is there, right? That means to say that volume of transactions are being pressured. That means they are to say that there will be less sales compared to a good market. And so therefore, your strategy now is to survive this period so that you can thrive when the opportunity comes. Okay, so your strategy now is to survive this period so that you will be having the resources and still being in the market to be able to grab that opportunity when it comes. And in fact, right now, some agents are already grasping the opportunities in hand. So it is your mindset that will prepare you first. It's the mindset that will prepare you into actions. And so a lot of people are not getting into actions, doing whatever that is necessary to do, moving into a shift market, is because the mindset is not set yet. All right, so we're going to talk about that mindset in a while. Before we proceed, while waiting for the others to lock in, I want you to think through and type in the chat box if you can. What is your strategy for your business for the next 6 months? What is your strategy for your business for the next 6 months? Think about it. You should have the answer by now. You should have already got the answer if you've been doing your GPS. And what's your answer? Maybe you can share with us in the chat box. So in a shift market, you got to shift your tactics, you got to shift your strategy, you got to shift your habits, all right? And so what's your strategy now going for your business for the next 6 months? Right, build up your GPS. Yes, Noreen says build up her GPS, and she has joined the 66-day challenge to do up her GPS. Very good. So in a shift market, moving into a shift market, your GPS has to be short term because things are changing very fast and moving very fast. And from last year itself, we've been emphasizing on that. You need to have a short term plan. You need to have a short term GPS to adapt to the changing environment. Right? Very good example is we've been emphasizing on virtual viewing last year, and now if you have already done that, got into action and prepare yourself for that, this lockdown should not greatly affect you if you have virtual viewing, right? So what else are you doing? What strategy are you putting in for your business for the next 6 months? Right, keep working on your 3 L's: leads, listings, leverage. So what are the strategies for you to work on these 3 priorities? That's the question you need to ask, all right? So let me go to my slides and start the sharing. Okay. So the topic for today is preparing for the shift market. And just to introduce myself, my name is William Gore. I'm the Productivity Coach, Training Faculty, and also a Division Director in Market Center 3. So welcome to our training this morning. Last week in my sharing, I talked about this high tide and low tide scenario, right? So Gary Keller in his book Shift says, market shift is exposed all of us in the real estate industry. It exposes any lack of skill, lack of lead generation, lack of strong mindset, any lack of basic selling. So in a good market, everybody will do well. Agents will do well, agencies will do well, anybody in the business will do well in a good market, even though they don't have good skills or even if they are not doing real estate at a high level. Because the market is good, everybody will be able to do well. And so it gives an illusion that an agent is very good. Even though they are not very skillful, they are lack of lead generation, they are lack of strong mindset. They look good. Why? Because it was a high tide, it was a good market, all the boats are floating. But when the low tide comes, you start to expose those sailors, those captains, if they do not have the skills and if they do not have the lead generation or the strong mindset and the lack of basic selling. In other words, to say that if you are not skilled in these areas, you will be exposed. You will start to have problems trying to close sales. You will start to have problems in your business. So getting into a shift market will start to show who are the skillful sellers and who are the non-skillful sellers, and who are prepared for the shift market and who are not prepared for the shift market. Now, like I said, we are already in a shift market. It is not too late still if you have not prepared yourself to go into a shift market, because you need to quickly get into training, get into education, and sharpen up your skills. You need to double up with your lead generation, and so that you will get more leads, and you need to prepare yourself mentally and your mindset so that you will be ready for the market in hand. So to do that, you need to think of possibilities. Now in the book, MREA book, Gary Keller says, spend one section about thinking. So he says you need to think your big why, you know, think of your big goal and big models, and you need to think of the possibilities, and you need to think of actions. So thinking, why he spends such a great portion of his book on thinking, because he says thinking is a step before action. If your thinking is out, you will not take any actions. So therefore he says you need to think of possibilities so that you will focus on those things that will bring you results, and therefore you will take actions. But if you do not have possibility thinking, you don't think that anything is possible, you will not do anything, you will not take any actions. So thinking possibilities, it is a belief that something is possible. Then you will tend to focus on the constructive means necessary to make that possibility a reality. Right? So if you think that it's possible, then you will take some constructive actions to do it. So if you do not have any possibility thinking, you think that it is impossible, then you will not do anything, you will not take any actions. So if you don't think something is possible, then you will be blinded to the ways it could be done, and it is a self-imposed blind spot. Now, Review has introduced many ways and many possibilities in the models and the systems and the technology for you to do and build your business. But if you look at it and think that it is impossible for you to get any results from it, then you will not do anything, because you are blinded by your thinking, and therefore it is a self-imposed blind spot. So I want to share with you this guy, Daniel Aponte. Daniel was invited as a panel speaker in MegaCamp 2020 on the topic of lead source zone. So he was a solo agent, and the other speakers that were invited into the panel were all what you call business agents with a team, right? So he says that this is his 4th year as a solo agent, all right, that is in 2020. He says in 2019, his total sales was 36 units, sales volume was 7.2 million, and he has been an agent without a schedule. But since started following the systems and models after attending Mega Camp last year, his business started to double. Why? Because he's been using and following and implementing and taking actions on the systems and the models that he learned in Mega Camp. So for your information, Mega Camp is already open for registration. I would encourage you to register for it to learn and get trained. Right? So moving into that, after thinking of possibilities, getting into a shift market, what are the actions that you need to do? You need to master your skills. Okay? And you need to master your skills now. Don't wait. It is good and nice to be seated in front of your screen, listening and attending this training and that training, but it is another thing getting into action and applying it into your business. All right? So listening and attending the training is one step. The next step is your action. You got to start your action right immediately. All right? Don't sit on your hands. That is because there's a lag time from your learning to the results. From the learning, you implement it, you take actions, you execute it, and then to the time you get the results, there's always a lag time. So the faster you start, the faster you take actions, the faster you get your results. And the faster you survive, and the better you survive in the shift market. So master your skills. So in a shift market, there are challenges that will reflect you it is a time that challenges you to reflect on your past and your current practices. So what are your past practices? What are your current practices? So again, like I said, in a good market, if you are lacking in skills and in habits, you will still get away with it. But in a shift market, if you do not have skills and you do not have good proper models and systems and good habits, you will be exposed. All right? So what are the changes that you need to do? Changes, of course, it's very difficult. It's painful to a lot of people, and people don't like changes. They will hope and pray that the environment is still the same so that they can continue with their own same habits. But it is not. Market always changes, right? And so therefore, you have to be prepared for this cycle of changes. So you got to move from being an entrepreneur to become purposeful. In the past, if you do not know your figures and your numbers, that is fine. You can still survive. But now in the shift market, you got to be more purposeful. You got to know your numbers. You got to know the numbers that you need to hit. You got to quickly move right into the models and the systems that is taught to you and brought to you by Redfield Keller Williams. The faster you get into model, the faster you will benefit to your business. Get into model. And into model, you need to do your CGI so that you will know your numbers. You got to do your GPS so that you know your strategies. You got to do your schedules so that you will have your action plan all in place. Next, you got to get into command. In the command, you have applets for you to use that are designed for you to raise your business to the next level. You got to get into the applets of context. All right, context. They design the context with CRM in mind, customer relation management or customer relation marketing, and the CRM is to help you to reach out to your clients, build a relationship, and do it in mass. You got to get into your smart plan, because smart plan will give you the leverage and help you to scale your business. You got to get into campaign, because campaign is what that will help you to lower your costs per lead. You got to get into DocuSign, so that you don't have to travel, and you're using technology to leverage in your transactions. All right. So of course, like we emphasized last year, you got to get into virtual platforms, virtual viewing, virtual consultation, virtual listings presentation. If you have done that, this year's lockdown should not affect you greatly. You can still continue to do your business. You can still continue to communicate with your clients and close deals. So these are the challenges that you need to face getting into a shift market. Master your skill, right? So in a shift market, it challenges you to return to the basics in 8 ways. How do you return to your challenges? How do you return to your skills? 1, assess your skills and look for ways to improve it. How can you improve your skills? One of the things that we would like to emphasize is your lead generation skills. And you need to double your lead generation in a shift market. You got to double your prospecting in a shift market, right? Look for other ways and other means to get leads, you can also improve your scripts to convert those leads into sales, or convert those leads into listings. Improve on your virtual platform. I emphasized on that just now. So you got to do that, because that will give you an advantage and an edge over your competitor. With that, even after the lockdown and after the pandemic, it gives you great leverage to your business. And leverage brings you bigger results and bigger scales. Next, you got to keep up with your education. Now, when you move into a shift market, one of your strategy is to survive. And how to survive? You need to cut down all your expenses. So you need to prepare for the worst, but try to do your best. Cut down all your expenses. Cut down those spending that are not bringing you the returns. Spending on like portals, which you need to monitor very closely whether they are bringing you the returns. But when you are cutting down expenses, don't cut down on your education. Don't cut down on your training. If you want to cut down your time that are not so productive on other things, and so that you can have more time in your training and in your education. Be a student of the market, right? Always look into the figures that are in the market. Look into the reports every day. What are the prices that are transacting? What are the prices that are not transacting? What type of properties are selling? And where are those? When to get those kind of properties? Read the property reports of your area. Look at the statistics. Be the source of information for your clients, right? Always be the student of the market, because it is always changing. Be a great communicator. At current market pandemic situation, you got to have a conversation that will bring hope to your clients, right? Tell your clients that there are buyers out there. They are ready to buy. They are serious in making the business, but only if the price is right and the condition is right. Have a conversation with your clients. Best conversations are conversations that are in control with your questions. What are your questions? Ask those questions and listen to their concerns. Find out what their concerns are, and if you can, suggest the solutions. So talking about conversations, you need to revise your scripts on handling new sellers, on handling buyers, because as the market change, the buyer behavior changes, the seller behavior changes, the behavior and thinking of buyers and sellers changes. So therefore, you need to change your scripts as well, so that you can be a good communicator with the new scripts, with handling of your objections. All right. So keep your sellers updated on what you are doing, and make sure that you send out the touch points that are direct and relevant. All right. Touch points and contents that are direct and relevant. I'm sure now if you send out a content or a touch point that says, are your agents taking more than 6 months to sell? Ask me how I can sell less in less time. I'm sure you, just by throwing this out, you hit a lot of leads, because majority of the listings and the inventories out there are taking more than 6 months to sell. All right, so make your touch points relevant. Or you can say, I just sold a semi-D in this location. I still have buyers in hand. Is yours available for sale? Right, these are all touch points that you can use that are relevant to the market. So be a good communicator. Next, lead generation 3 hours a day. Gary Keller says in the shift market, you need to double down on your lead generation. All right, or in our terms here, you need to double up in your lead generation. Next, talk competently to your sellers about pricing. So we have one session about pricing and how to talk about pricing, and so you need to do this well, and you need to be able to talk competently to the sellers. Maybe you need to practice, you need to do role play with the colleagues or your leaders on how to present the CMA and talk to them about pricing. So do an extensive CMA, use charts, use reports that will be able to convince them on the pricing. After you have shown them the CMA, ask them, given the CMA that I show you, what do you think your houses will sell for? In other words, tell them it is not the agent that decides on the pricing. It is not even the seller that decides on the pricing. It is the market that decides on the pricing. And so in the market, and what kind of market are we in? We are in a buyer's market. So it is up to the buyers and their perception of whether your price is an attractive price or not. Whether your price is worth paying and worth the value. So therefore, they will look at pricing, condition of the house, location, and also what's available in the market in terms of supply. So you have got to be able to talk to them competently to your sellers about pricing. If not, your listings will be sitting in the market for 12 months. 7, motivate your buyers to buy. So what is the buyer's behavior now? They may be sitting in the market, sitting on the fence and delaying their decision. So most of the buyers now in the market are looking to buy for their own use. And you should be able to help them to find their dream home. And so sometimes even if they found their dream homes, found something that they like, they may want to delay their decision making or delay their purchase, thinking that there could be more coming into the market, thinking that price can still go further down. And so you got to have that kind of skill to help them to decide. So you can say that since you found your dream home and you like it so much, this is probably the best one in the market right now. If you miss this opportunity, you will have to spend another 6 months going house hunting all over again. So you may not be able to find something that is 100% that you like, but it is good enough to find something that is 80% or 90% that you like. Then you can buy over and then do some renovation to make it 100%. Right? So motivate your buyers, and of course, convert your leads fast. Convert your leads fast. And if you are doing campaign, leads comes in, try to get in touch with them within 24 hours. You need to quickly convert those from inquiries to become prospective buyers by helping them to shortlist your property. Otherwise, they will lose interest or be distracted by other properties or other agents, right? So convert your leads. So these are things that you need to master for you to be able to get through this shift market. So talking about assess your skills and look and ways to improve, today I'd like to bring someone to talk about it, and I got a guest speaker for today to talk about assessing your skills and ways to improve your skills. And we have Mr. Salim Mustam, who got an award for top lead generation in Market Center 1, our state of company, and he was awarded for one of the top lead generator. And within that period of January to March this year, he generated 283 leads, and that is only from campaign. So I want to talk to him and ask him the mindset behind, the attitude behind of doing campaigns. All right. So let me stop share my screen and invite Mr. Salim into the screen. So welcome, Mr. Salim.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for coming and thank you for doing this. So to start with,
Thank you for the opportunity.
My pleasure. So can you introduce yourself and tell us how many years have you been in real estate and why do you do real estate?
Okay, my name is Salim Mustam. I've been in the real estate industry for 7 years now. Why I moved into this industry is basically when I retired from my previous profession, I was thinking that I need to do something to maintain an active life, but not in full employment. Then I thought doing business is a good option, and because that gives freedom, as well as you can set your objective and work towards it. Then I was thinking real estate agency is a good one to be in, because it doesn't require much capital to do the business, and it's not high tech. You can learn the skill pretty easy, and also it gives flexibility in terms of time, and you do it at your own pace. So that's how I got into this real estate industry.
I like the fact that you use the term business. You're going to get into business. All right. So maybe explain a bit what you used to do before you come into real estate. What industry were you in?
Oh, my background actually is mechanical engineering. I was an aircraft engineer in the Royal Malaysian Air Force for 8 years. Then I moved into oil and gas industry for 26 years.
Wow. Nothing to do with real estate.
Yeah, nothing to do with real estate.
So share with us, which year was your best year in real estate and what was your gross commission income?
My best year was after, I think, in my third year and fourth year in real estate. That
What year
was
was that?
2016 and 2017. My GCI was not very high. It was about 85K per year.
Okay, but that was your best year, right?
Yep.
So share with us, is the market then any different compared to now, this year?
Yeah, I think this year, these 2 years have been very challenging. It requires shift in thinking and also strategy. We need to work smarter and adopting new strategies.
Of course, in 2016-17, where your best year is, there's no lockdown. Now you have lockdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is an obvious, a very obvious difference in challenges, of course. Now, how are you preparing for this current market and the market that is coming?
I'm shifting two strategies. One is the focus. I'm applying the Pareto principle 80-20, whereby I try to shift from residential segment to commercial and industrial, which is 20% of the market, which I hope will give 80% of the results. And so far, I have closed one industrial sale. And second strategy is to adopt technology. Technology which gives me efficiency and cost effective. Which is the command FB campaigns system.
All right. Yeah, Facebook campaign is is on a technology platform. So you're right in saying that technology is one way to go about, and technology going forward will give you the competitive edge. And in any business, if you want any competitive edge, is technology, right? So what got you? In Market Center 1 State of Company event, you were recognized for achieving the highest lead generation in Facebook campaign. So I want to ask you, were you a Facebook person or a social media person?
Not really. I had a Facebook account and I started doing Facebook marketing, but it was too demanding and time consuming, and didn't give me a good result. So I abandoned, and since then I've not been active in Facebook.
So what got you into Facebook campaign?
I think Facebook campaign is a good platform because it synergizes the best of Facebook and KW command, as well as it is synced to the pricing, which makes the system very efficient and effective.
Okay, very good. So you are looking at the possibility of getting results from campaign itself, right?
Yeah, that's right. It is a good system. System is already set up, so it's just for us to make use of it, and it doesn't require much effort to use the system, and it's very user friendly, and it's cost effective.
You are able to appreciate that because you have done Facebook advertisements on your own using your own Facebook business page, right? So you saw the challenges and the kind of amount of work that you need to do to get good results now, but it's much more easier using campaign on our command.
That's right.
Yeah, very good, very good. When was your first campaign?
My first campaign was in November 2020.
November 2020. Okay.
Yeah.
That was your first campaign, your first launch, so-called launch in your campaign. So how long was the process from the time you decide to do it to the time you take to launch your first campaign?
It took me about 1 month from attending the virtual training, up to the launching, where my campaign was running smoothly. So initially, I attended the virtual training, and then
there was a lag. Maybe you can repeat your last 2 sentences.
Using.
Hello.
Yeah, he's stuck, I think, for a while, probably connection. Let's give him some time to come back.
Yeah.
Campaigns.
Salim. Oh, disconnected.
Yeah, he's dropped out for a while. Okay, let's just
Okay.
see if he can come in again.
Yeah. So while waiting for him, basically what he is showing is that it can be done if you want to get into Facebook campaign, and again there's a lag time from the time he decides to do it, and then there was a process of learning and trying it, and then finally getting it launched and getting his first campaign running, right?
Okay, I think he's back.
I'm back.
Okay,
Yeah.
Salim, welcome back. So I want to ask that question
okay.
again. I want to ask that question again.
Within that 1 month.
Ah,
Yeah. What happened in that 1 month is after attending the virtual training and studying the video, I launched the system, and then I started using campaign. But I encountered a problem. I had 3 listings or 3 campaigns, but not generating leads. So I quickly asked for help from MC1, and I got 2% came to rescue. One was Yvonne, and the other one was Emilia Kuhn, who helped to troubleshoot my campaign, and we got it corrected. The problem was I chose the landing, what is that, landing site?
landing
page, yeah, which is not the FB landing page.
Hmm.
Then it was corrected, and then I started using it again. So by the end of the first month, the system was running smoothly for me.
Well, I'm very impressed that you said you only took you 1 month from the day you decided to do campaign and to the day you launch. And of course, after launching, you have some teething problems, which is very normal, very common in anything new that you do. But I'm very impressed that you took only 1 month through the learning process and until the time you start to launch. So was there an urgency to do this? What's the mindset behind?
Yeah, I think it is very urgent because the market has already shifted. So if we don't do this, then we will be left behind.
So there's an urgency to do that, right? Because the market is not going to wait for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So was there any training besides the video training that you went through? Was there any other training?
Initially, I attended only the first virtual training and also the video. But now there's a lot more training, a lot more help being offered.
Yeah.
And a lot of tuitions, hands-on help that you can get.
Yeah, I like the attitude that you have, because people like to wait until everything is ready, everything is good, everything is fail-safe, then only they start to do whatever they need to do. With your kind of approach is like what a lot of people say, pioneers. Pioneers are people who jump first and then build the parachute on the way down. I like that, because in the shift market, there's no time for you to sit down, take your own sweet time to learn and try this and wait for everything to be fail-safe before you start. Very good. So what are you, currently, how frequent are you doing your campaign?
I run campaign about twice a month, about 4 to 5 campaigns each time, which runs for about 10 days. So 4 campaigns times for 10 days, and then another round for the second part of the month.
So,
and I spend about $10 for each campaign.
All right.
For 10
So
days.
share with us averagely, what's your average leads per campaign and what's your cost per lead?
The average leads per campaign is about 14 leads.
Wow.
Which I get within 10 days. The average cost per lead is about 68 cents US, which is about 2 ringgit 70 cents.
That's very cheap compared to the way if you were to do it on your own in Facebook business page, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So how do you follow up with the leads?
Presently, I'm doing it. It's like manual. You can see it's manual.
Okay.
Basically, the pricing transfer the the list contact number to my handphone directory, and from there, then I send WhatsApp. The first follow up is using WhatsApp. I have a pre-written WhatsApp for each campaign. Basically, I thank the leads for assessing my my ads, and then I provide the property details, and then I mentioned that if you have any questions or you need any clarification, you can contact me. So that is by WhatsApp.
Okay.
And then sometimes they may ask for photos or they have questions, and I follow up from there.
So there's still a lot of time and spent to do the follow-ups and follow up on your leads, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, and a lot of, like you said, a lot of manual, a lot of things that are manually done.
Yeah.
So share with us, have you successfully closed any sales through these leads?
No, I haven't closed any, but quite a number of viewings already done, and I'm following up with that or follow through to try to close. And at the moment, I have a few viewings being scheduled to do it after the EMCO.
So you've been doing campaigns since November, so that means now it's about 6-7 months already.
Yeah.
And you have not closed any sales from the leads.
Yep.
And you are still continuing with it.
Yep.
Wow, that's fantastic. A lot of agents would have given up after 3 campaigns, no sales, they would have stopped. But I like your mindset.
I still believe that the quality of the leads is in the quantity, and these epic campaigns gives the quantity. So it's just for me I need to follow up with those leads and to get the good ones. I've not done much on follow up. That's why I've not closed any. I've done only the first round of follow up, but the second round and third round is.
But you are collecting all those leads, and you're not giving up on those leads, right? You're not throwing them away, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I like to pause here for a teaching moment. Teaching moment, something I've learned in parenting. You can have teaching moments, and so here I would like to take the opportunity to have a teaching moment. Now, many of you would have given up after 3 campaigns, cannot close any sales, and you stop. All right? But I think you are missing the point. Yes, we are in the business of real estate. We need to close sales. But don't forget, Gary Keller says we are in the business of, we are in 2 business. One is the business of real estate. Second one is the business of lead generation. So let me give you a scenario. Let me give you one buyer that you are looking for, which everybody is once looking for, that is close one sale. One buyer, close 1 sale now. I give you that buyer. But I grab all the other leads. 6 months, 9 months down the road, who will be closing more sales? You or me? Because 6 months, 9 months down the road, I may not have to do any advertisements anymore. I may not even have to do any campaign anymore. I just have to continue to serve all these buyers and help them to find their dream homes. So who would close more sales 9 months down, 6 months down the road, 9 months down the road? So you got to remember, yes, you need to close sales, but you are also building your database, you are also doing lead generation. All right. So therefore, when you do a campaign, you should have two objectives. One is to close a sale. The other one is to lead generate. All right. So thank you for that, Salim. Let's continue with the conversation with you. What are you doing to further improve your skill in campaign?
There are two things that I need to do, which I think which will improve my success in campaigns. One is to learn the design and to use design, because in my campaigns I have not used design. I think using design will improve the getting the leads. I've learned design, but I'm not using it. I've started learning.
Okay.
Secondly is I think I need to use the smart plan for my follow-up, because presently I'm doing it manual with the WhatsApp and phone calls, but it's very time-consuming. It's not efficient. If I were to use a smart plan, that will be more efficient, and I can do more things. I can do more follow-up, second round and third round after that.
So just to enlighten the audience, maybe you can explain a bit how Smart Plan is going to help you to scale your business in campaign.
Well, the Smart Plan will automatically send a message and do the follow-up. For example, the first round of follow-up, then the Smart Plan, once you set the messages and the target leads, then the system will send the message, the follow-up for you, and so you don't have to do it manually.
All right, just to paraphrase what you said, so basically if you put your leads into your Smart Plan that is set to give them a first touch on your leads, that is one way to make sure that you touch them within 24 hours, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so Smart Plan can help you to do that. And if you are doing 3 campaigns and you got 30 leads per day, if you do it manually to follow up, call them, send them messages, that would be a lot of work if you do it manually, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so Smart Plan is a way to help you to scale. Very good. So can you scale any further in your Facebook campaign?
Yeah, I think once I use the Smart Plan, then I have more time to do more campaigns, and I can increase my campaign.
Not only doing more campaign, but you can also have more time to make calls to those that are shortlisted by you, all right? They are more qualified. Yeah. Okay, how does this new skill help you?
Follow-ups,
Yeah. So how does this new skill help you in your lockdown?
Oh, this fits very well because the works are all virtual, online, and you have all the time to do it because you are at home. So this fits very well with the current situation.
And it fits well only because you started learning and doing campaign from last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's always a lag time from the day you learn to the day you get your results, and now you are getting the results. Very good model and example for all of us. And do you think there's a possibility that you can master this so well you can drop the other portals?
Yeah, I think once this become very efficient and I get results, then I can drop the other portals. Yeah.
Because this is definitely cheaper on cost per leads compared to the portals, right?
Yeah, that's right. It's very cheap. It's my average cost per lead is about 68 cents US, which is to ringgit 72 I got the highest number of leads I got from one campaign was 73 leads.
Woo!
So it's very cost effective.
73 per campaign. Wow, that's a lot to follow up in those kind of leads. And you will not get those kind of leads from a portal.
Yeah, that was the highest.
And you will not get
Yep.
that kind of leads from a portal, right?
Yep.
Okay, last
Definitely.
question. Last question. Do you have any recommendation to those who have not started campaign?
I think they shouldn't wait anymore because the market has shifted, and this is not the way about it. You have to adopt the technology, and it is not difficult, not high tech. I'm not a tech savvy person, but you can learn and you can do it. Especially now, there's a lot more help given by the market center.
All right. So
And it's cost effective. It's very cost effective. Yeah.
Very good. Very good. So I want to thank you, Salim, for coming and sharing with us your the way your mindset and your attitudes towards campaign, and also being a good role model for us in doing campaign. So thank you for coming and sharing your thoughts with us. I want to continue to share on my screen, my slides, before I move on to Q&A, right?
Sure.
Just 1 minute before Salim goes, a few people just asked him a few questions here.
Okay, okay.
Which area do you focus in, Salim? Do you have a specific area?
I don't have any specific area. And in terms of the segments, I am shifting from residential to commercial and industrial. But still, I still have some residential segment as well.
Right. Okay. So yeah, and then I think one more person asked, what type of for the 73 leads that you got, what type of property were you actually did you actually put on the campaign? Is it a residential or?
It is agricultural land, 3 acres agricultural land with a bungalow and 1 semi-D on it.
Where?
In Klang, and it's very popular. I found that this kind of property and also residential land, bungalow lots is also very popular.
Right. Okay. Thank you, Salim. That was the questions that people were specifically asking you.
Okay, let me go to my slides. Now, before I end this, I want to share with you, because I went into, I was reading Gary Keller's section on thinking, and in one section he's talking about think possibilities, right? And so I went for further reading on think possibilities, and so there are a few people that talk about it. John Maxwell talks about it, and John Maxwell referred to a person who also talks about it, that is Robert Schuller. And so I was going through Robert Schuller's book, and he wrote about thinking possibility, and he wrote another book that says, don't throw away your tomorrow, right? Don't throw away tomorrow. Don't throw your tomorrow away, all right? So that's his title of the book. And what did he say in his book? Let me share this. He says, when people throw away their tomorrow, it's because when they miss the invitation to improve and gave up the possibilities to grow, right? So Refill KW has given you a lot of opportunities in command platform for you to improve and grow. And if you are throwing away your tomorrow when you get all your priorities all mixed up and lose your vision. You are throwing your tomorrow away when you are surrounded by a community that avoids failure. So you can see here, you hear from Salim, he took baby steps, he had a few fall, but it's not a failure. He just had a few fall, just like someone learning to ride a bicycle. When he fall, it's not a failure. He pick it himself up, continue and learn and learn and learn, all right? So you throw your tomorrow away if you succumb to negative thinking and negative people. So remember who you talk to and who you surround yourself with. Lastly, remember that these fundamental principles of possibility thinking: never make an irreversible negative decision in a downtime. So that means when you are not feeling in good mood, you are not in a good mindset, when you are not feeling very strong, don't make that kind of decision that is irreversible, right? You can make small decisions, but don't make big decisions that are irreversible. All right, so let's go for, I want you to share with me one of your aha that you have got from here before we go for further Q&A. Share with me what's your aha that you have learned from today. All right, quality is the quantity. Quality is the quantity, right? What else? Fail forward, right? So you got to relook and redefine failure, right? You got to look at failure differently. Don't give up. The future is great. Never give up. Yes, there's always a possibility of success if you put your mind and heart to it. Consistently doing the right thing. Okay, now I want you to switch gear. Now, tell me what's your immediate action plan after today's session. What are you going to do immediately after this? What's your action plan? What will be your action plan immediately after this? What are you going to do for your business? No action plan. Nobody going to do anything. Restart. All right, restart your campaign. Very good. Do it right away. Chart out your campaigns. Yes, get into actions. Review and revise. What are you going to review? What are you going to revise? What actions you're going to take? Prioritize which property to start for campaign. Very good. That is really to the specific of your action plan. Never give up on what? You got to be more specific if you're going into action plan. Never give up on what? And that means what are you going to do? On the opposite of never give up, what are you going to do? Right? Change your mindset. What are you going to do to change your mindset, to reset your mindset? So we're going to pause this and move on to questions. All right? If you want to get your mindset right, you got to have a specific action. What are you going to do to get your mindset right? Time block. Okay, start doing your follow-up and smart plan with your time block. Spend time, schedule time for that. Very good. So any questions?
Yes, there was one question from Norain. She asked, what if the agent that is taking more than 6 months is actually you? How do you reword your message?
Good question. Well, if you want to be more authentic, then quickly go and close a deal within 3 months and then send a message out. But you can always tell them that you got a method to do it, not necessarily a track record, but you got a method to do it. Then you can still send out that kind of same message.
Yeah, I think that's all. The rest was to Salim, which was already addressed.
Okay, so with that, I want to thank you for attending this training. And remember, get into action, get into your action plan immediately after this. Right? Yeah, start launching your campaign, start learning your campaign, and maybe other things else that is important to your business. Right? So thank you very much for being here and thank you for your participation. I hope you have gained something from here. And again, lastly, get into action plan. So we've got some announcements for you. Please stay put.
Right. Thank you, William. Thank you so much for for your sharing and for taking through us this mindset preparation. Okay, we have the announcement slides now. So this is the training calendar this week, and we have one more session next week. Tomorrow, Shift Tactic 7. The Art of Persuasion with George Tan. It's a very popular topic normally, how to price your property, the price persuasion. It's a very, very popular topic. So please join us tomorrow morning again as we go through with George Tan. And then for the next week training calendar, it will be up soon. So stay tuned and follow our Facebook page or check Workplace. Okay, we have been having some trained counselors come in and speak on handling stress and how to overcome these times of crisis. So this week on Friday night, we have the session in English. Previous sessions was in Bahasa Malaysia and Mandarin. So this week we have one in English. We have Avis Ng. She is a professional counselor with Rekindle Therapy. And it's all about prioritizing mental health in times of COVID, because we know that there is some underlying stress in these times of COVID. So yeah, do join us. And I think people have actually found the sessions very helpful. Even though last week was in Malay and Chinese, a lot of people just tuned in. So the session in English, do share with all your friends, even they don't need to be real estate agents, because this would definitely help everybody, no matter which industry they are. Don't need to register. The meeting ID and passcode is just on this poster. So you can take a photo of it, send it out. They can just join it, and it's free. All right, don't miss it out. I think it's going to be a very good session. Okay, next slide. Okay, we are still having this white flag relief fund. So it's 200 ringgit cash relief that we will pay if you are in need, if you are struggling, right, financially. Just go to this link or go to the QR code. It will take you to a Google form. Just fill out the Google form with some basic details of yourself, and then we will actually transfer some funds to you. However, now the funds are running low. So as and when we receive, we will actually transfer to you. So there are a lot of people still on waiting list, but still, if you have a need, register. Your time will come soon. Okay, these are only for rents, PAs, REAs that are registered with LPPH. Yeah, so you need to have a rent number or PA number or REA number. All right, and it's on first come first serve basis, meaning that you might be put on wait list if you are registering now, but just hold on and we will just hopefully more funds will come in. Okay, so as our funds are coming in and running low, currently our goal is actually to raise 50,000 for 250 families, right, by 18th of July. So it's until end of this week, right? So far we have 231 responses, right? And we have paid out 28,800 ringgit, right? And we have helped for 144 people. So we still have some allocation, and hopefully there will be more people donating. Yeah, so we are halfway there. There's still some families on wait list, but do try to donate and do try to contribute. Any amount is fine. 10 ringgit is fine. You know, if you can do more, it's better. But yes, this is what we are trying to do for our rents, for our agents that are in need during this time. Okay, just transfer the money, bank transfer to Redfield Academy, Sdn Bhd, right? Label it white flag, so we would know that it's specifically for white flag. Or you can just scan this QR code, which you will be taken to our payment page on our website, and you can actually pay via GrabPay, you can pay via credit card there, and then we will be able to receive the funds as well. Okay, so 5 days left. Let's try to do our best and try to be able to give the families on wait list a chance. All right. Yeah, so this is the ways that we can. Oh yes, and if you are rent with Redfield, one more way is that you can actually ask your market center to deduct your commission if there's any commission coming in this week or next week. All right, so just inform your market center that, oh, I've got commission this week. Can you please deduct 100 ringgit, 200 ringgit, that sort of thing. And then the market center will be able to transfer it direct to us. If you can't, then just share out this touch point, yeah. Share out to those people that you think maybe can be able to contribute a little bit, so that you know, people will be able to receive such funds. All right. Thank you so much for this, and thank you so much for the amounts that we have already been contributed. Next slide. Okay, National Consumer Campaign. Every Thursday, we will be uploading new touch points for you to send out to your clients. So please do use these posters that we have prepared for you to keep in touch with your clients, especially during this time where you can't see them. So just send out a WhatsApp or SMS or email that would help you to be able to maintain the contact with them. Okay, next. Okay, I think that's all. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you, William, for your time again. Thank you, Salim, for sharing so openly with us your journey and what you've done via campaigns. And yes, don't let technology be a stumbling block to you. Salim is probably not the youngest around, right? And you can see he actually embraced technology. He's not technology savvy, but I think he just did it, and he can do it. And so to him, he says it's simple. Even when he found the stumbling block, or when he actually found it difficult and he faced challenges, he actually reached out to his market center and he managed to sort out that. So thank you so much, Salim, for your time. And everybody just keep on, press on, and just hold on. Just hold on. Yeah, we will get through this. So thank you very much.
Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train going anywhere. Just a city boy, born and raised in South Detroit. He took the midnight train going anywhere. A singer in a smoky room, the smell of wine and cheap perfume. For a smile they can share the